Thousand Sons.
Yes!
The Thousand Nids. Awesome. We're excited. This is going to be a Pariah Nexus mission where this is going to be another competitive play mission where we're going to be trying to do tournament ready game, doing some practice. John's getting ready to go to a local tournament here, testing out some armies. So we're really excited.
Got to figure out if I want the big Stompy list or the medium big Stompy list or just the Stompy list, which is what I'm playing tonight. So yeah. So we rolled out, well, we picked the last mission of the tournament. It's a 2-day tournament, five games. It is hammer and anvil deployment. So the short board edges. Take and hold is the primary mission, so very straightforward. 5, 10, 15 points for holding objectives, and that includes the one in your own deployment zone. And then for the mission rule, it's prepared positions, which allows battle line units to heroically intervene and go to ground for 0 CP. And that works great for me, but not so great for Landon.
We chose not to take any battle line today. Whoops. Some of the Pariah Nexus missions, they do have advantages for battle line units, mission specific things. So that is something to keep in mind. Most tournaments will have a tournament pack and have that ahead of time, so you can plan that ahead. But yeah, just keep that in mind. It's pretty common in the Pariah Nexus format. So.
And I've been really enjoying my Dusty Sons, my big old Stomper heavy duty Thousand Sons. But I have added 2 units of rubrics instead of just running lone characters in order to get some of those extra lingering battle points or victory points from battle line units. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to present our armies to you guys. We have them on little trays here. We're going to show you, first of all, the Tyranids, if I don't drop them on camera, before we deploy. So this is what I'm playing with today. This is my list. So we are rocking the Synaptic Nexus today. So pretty much we want to be doing a 5-up invuln for most of the rounds. At the beginning of each round, we can choose either a 5-up invuln, +1 to advances and charges, or +1 to hit. Those are my 3 choices. So it's a little bit flexible. I like that. You can kind of choose what you're doing that round. If you really have a lot of -1, you could go for the hit rolls. But we're going to be going for the invuln saves for most of these. We're playing with a Swarm Lord who is our Warlord. He's going to be giving 1 extra CP per battle round right there, along with a Walking Hive Tyrant as well. This is kind of a good combo right now in Tyranids, where you get the free generation of an extra CP every turn guaranteed. And then the Hive Tyrant lets you do a -1 CP for any strat. They changed that to any strat now. So really good. We have a Death Leaper also running around trying to do some Battle Shock shenanigans. Parasite of Mortrex as well. And 2 Neurolectors. We have 1 unit of Gene Stealers with a Broodlord attached. That Broodlord has an enhancement that does -1 leadership to anybody that's close to him, which is also what the Death Leaper does. The Walking Hive Tyrant has a -1 damage enhancement, and we're also playing 2 Neuro Tyrants here in the back, and 2 6-man Zoanthropes that are all going to be attached. And one of them has an enhancement to make his Psychic Flamer a little bit better, +1 strength, extra AP, and then 2 Screamer Killers. So essentially we're trying to do all the Battle Shock things. Every time we do Battle Shock, we can spend a CP and do mortal wounds to our enemies. So we're trying to use that in every phase if we can. So yeah, that's the Tyranid army.
Oof, that is pretty awesome. I'm a little nervous, but here we've got my Dusty Sons, my Stompy boys. So I've got Magnus leading.
Big old Magnus.
Yeah. I've got 2 Mutalith Vortex Beasts. And then I've got a Forge Fiend. Those are my big heavies. Then I've got a Demon Prince, just a walking around guy. He's going to have the Athenian Scrolls enhancement, which allows for, there we go, right there, gold guy in the middle there. The Athenaean Scrolls gives me 1 additional Cabal point. I've got a Hellbrute, which most people don't play, but I really enjoy them. He's got the dual fists, dual flamers. So he's really more of a protection monster for me. I then have an Exalted Sorcerer. Step back so you can see it a little better, maybe. Exalted Sorcerer leading a unit of standard rubrics with the Soul Reaper Cannon and bolters. He is running the Arcane Vortex enhancement. I've got Ahriman with a unit of Flamer rubrics. And I've got a Sorcerer in Terminator armor with the Umbralefic Crystal and a 5-man unit of Terminators. So I've got 9 units that I'm fielding. How many units do you got in your army?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 units.
Woo!
Yeah.
Being out-united.
A lot of lone operators with the Neurolictors, the Death Leaper, Parasite and Mortrex. A lot of those guys are, lone operators running around, hopefully doing some good things.
Mm-hmm.
I will be playing tactical today.
As will I.
John is as well. I think that's kind of the way to go right now, unless you really have a solid plan and can perform that with the fixed.
Yep.
So we've already set up. We practiced a player-based terrain where we took turns putting the terrain down. We on the top down here, you can see Tyranids will be deployed over here on this side, and Thousand Sons on this. Or do we still need to roll for that? No, we picked sides. That's right. Yep. We got to place one of these at a time, and then we put the terrain on there. So we're ready to go. These are our objective markers. And I believe I deploy first, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pick a unit and go for it here.
Yeah, so Landon is defender. So he got to pick his side, place the first piece of terrain. I got to place 2 after that. And then we alternate after that. And then he deploys first. What do you have in transports or deep strike?
Nothing actually. I think we're gonna we are gonna put we're gonna put one of the Screamer Killers in reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about your Parasite? Doesn't he deep strike in?
He does, but I think the problem with that, the Parasite or Mortrex is really good. He does deep strike, but I find that if you a lot of times you're deep striking him, he gets thrown away a lot. What he needs to be doing with this army build is he needs to be running alongside some Gene Stealers or some other units so that he can get into combat and do some extra battle shocks. He has the it itches, so every time he successfully wounds, he can be doing additional battle shocks. So instead of like a deep strike action monkey, we're having him run alongside units in this format. So just the Screamer Killer, I think. All right. Well, so we're going to go ahead with the Broodlord right here and the Gene Stealers behind it. These guys I'm going to deploy right on the front line here. They do have the Scout ability, so they will be moving before the game starts.
All right. And so you can see with the blue bases, the blue base itself, as long as you're not touching the blue base, it is obscuring. So that whole thing is obscuring. As soon as you touch it, then it's line of sight. So as far as I have, I'm just putting the Terminators in deep strike. Everything else will be on the table. Okay. So I'm going to put a unit of rubrics back here. And to hang out and protect the back line here. So you don't have a whole lot that can be picked up and put back down, right?
Not a whole lot. Not in this format.
Okay. All right. So there's a unit of rubrics on the table. That's my standard build rubrics with the Soul Reaper Cannon, 4 bolters, and a plasma pistol for the aspiring sorcerer.
Okay. Next, we're going to go with one of our Neurolictors. These guys are an infiltrator, so
get them right up in there.
I've noticed a lot that it pays to be kind of close to that center objective in case you have to get like an area denial or something like that.
Right off the bat.
So I think we're going to place him right up here inside of this building here.
Okay.
Their ability in the command phase also is about 12 inches. So you kind of want him somewhat close to the front line so that he can be able to pick enemy units and do that. But you don't want him so close that he's just going to get thrown away like round 1 or 2. So we're going to go ahead and infiltrate him right there.
Okay. I'm going to stick, put my Forge Fiend back here. So I think we're going to put him where he can move out and shoot and do some damage, but otherwise is hiding behind terrain.
Gotcha.
And with the new pivot rules, he does lose 2 inches if I have to rotate him. So I want to set him up so that I can go straight forward or straight back.
All right, we're going to go with the Neuro Tyrant without the enhancement and 6 zoanthropes attached. These guys are going to be over here. This has been kind of a fun little new update we got with our June data slate. The Neuro Tyrants can now go in with a unit of zoanthropes. Yeah, I've been playing around with it and I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Being able to attach. So what is the benefit that they give to the unit when they are attached?
A +1 to hit. So zoanthropes are normally hitting on a ballistic skill of 3. But as you attach that leader in there, it lets them have an extra +1 to hit. Let me double check, make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, add 1 to the hit roll, and then additionally, if the target is battle shocked that they're shooting at, it's a +1 to wound as well.
Oh my gosh.
So zoanthropes already have like a strength 12, really high strength. So we're usually wounding on 3s, but if we can get them battle shocked, we're wounding on 2s and hitting on 2s. So it's really nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then they get the lethal hits keyword.
I misspoke earlier. I was telling John beforehand, but the zoanthropes on their actual weapon data sheet, they have lethal hits. Yeah. The other nice thing about the Neuro Tyrant is he can pick 2 units at the beginning of the command phase. And no matter how far they move away from him for that whole round, they are considered within synapse. So because that's such a big benefit to our army, we want to be using that a lot.
Gotcha.
All right.
So I put my Demon Prince down over on the other side of the table there. He's going to give an aura of stealth and be generating 3 Cabal points for me.
This Demon Prince has been good. You've been using him a lot lately.
I have. I did put together one with wings, and I'm debating which way I'm going to go. In the current build, they're one pip weaker as far as toughness goes with the wings, but they have the uppy downy thing that they can do at the end of your turn. I can pick them up and put them back into deep strike. So they're pretty handy. Plus, they get the mortal wound flyover, which I could do twice in a round if I plan it well.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
a Swarm Lord here.
That's the big guy. All right. So we've got the one guy in reserve, and the parasite you can pick up at the end of my turn. Is that the way that works?
No, that would be the Vanguard Onslaught detachment, I think. And we're playing Synaptic Nexus today.
So you don't have really anybody who just like bops up. You've got a lot of movement, but not a lot of like pick up and drop down shenanigans.
Correct.
You know what? Let's wait on him. We're going to put down a Mutalith Vortex Beast. I think he wants to be right up where he can get into the fray nice and fast. same idea here. He moves 10 inches, so I want to be able to get him, if I move first, right up onto that, or if I get first turn, right up onto that center objective and get him scoring some points.
Okay. I'm going to go right here with the Screamer Killer.
Ooh. All right. Will you give me the Screamer Killer profile again?
Yeah, so
since I've played against them.
The Screamer Killers have, I think it's around 10 attacks. Oop. Sorry, my bad.
So they get around 10 attacks in melee. Do they have a shooting profile?
They do, and that's kind of a key thing of the army too, is when they shoot, they have an 18-inch gun. It's not super strong. I think it's only, double check it here. It only is a strength 6, I believe. It is a blast weapon. Let me double check here so I'm not saying it wrong. It's a D6 plus 3 blast assault weapon, and strength 8 minus 2 AP, 1 damage. But the key thing is, if they successfully hit something, that unit has to take a battle shock test with a -1 to their leadership.
Right there.
It's called the Death Scream ability. So essentially, their melee profiles while they're here, but also their shooting just kind of triggers that battle shock test again.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And
their melee profile, just so you know,
yep,
is 10 attacks at 3+, strength 10, -2, 3 damage. And if they're within synapse, they get 11 strength on that. So they can get through some of those tougher ones.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I put Ahriman and his Flamer rubrics down over there.
Okay. We're going to go with...
We want him to be able to get in and use those Flamers, hopefully pick up some Gene Stealers or do some other damage here. Maybe get his once-a-game Cabal ritual out of the way early so that I am less worried about losing the unit. Because I have the feeling I'm going to lose the unit fairly soon, I think.
Okay, so we did the Walking Hive Tyrant right here.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. I will put the other Mutalith. It's going to go right there where he can potentially run up. Put his nose on the objective there. Again, kind of plan on take the objectives early if I get first turn. Get some scoring started so that I can take an early lead and then hold on to it, hopefully.
All right. I got to decide where I want this other set of zoanthropes. Okay, so we're going to go here, I think.
I will bravely hide Magnus over here.
Bravely. Strongly.
So the range on your zoanthropes is 18 inches?
I believe it's 18 or 24.
I think it's 24.
I think it is 24.
Okay, and I've got 1 unit left. You've got 3 still to put out.
3 small guys here.
Okay.
Yes, it is 24. We're going to do the Parasite of Mortrex. Go right there. Behind that is Obscuring Terrain.
Okay.
And you're all.
I got 1 left. So the Hellbrute generates Cabal points. So I'm going to put him over here where I think I'm going to be using some Cabal points. Some Cabal rituals. There we go. Okay, and I am deployed. So now you've got So you've got you've got one more Death Leaper. And
the Neurolictor. We're going to go ahead and
Neurolictor.
infiltrate the Neurolictor here, side of this building, a little bit closer, just a couple inches.
Okay.
Okay. And then a Death Leaper, because I'm the next. I think we're going to go him over here as well.
Okay.
All right. So that means we are fully deployed now.
All right. Cool.
I'm going to rock and roll.
Well, it is time for the all-important roll-off.
All right.
So we have been having some technical difficulties that we've been working through, and one of them is our dice cam is not working. So we're going to call out our good rolls, and we're just going to ignore all the ones.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, sorry. Did you have a question there, Emily? Oh, gotcha. Yep. All right. So here we go. Turn one. Do you want to go first?
I do not. I actually want you to come at me.
He wants me to get out of the obscuring terrain.
Well, if I'm going to roll like that.
Thousand Sons got a 5. Tyranid's got a 3. So that means Thousand Sons, turn 1.
Okay. Well, first things first. My objectives are Cull the Horde, which, let's see. Starting strength of 20 plus. And infantry. What units do you have that are infantry? Just the Gene Stealers?
The Gene Stealers, the Zoanthropes are technically infantry,
Okay.
but they also have the monster keyword because the Hive Tyrants attached. The Parasites, the Neurolictors, all the Lictors.
So the Zoanthropes have 3 wounds each.
Yes.
So that's 18 plus 6, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have a starting strength of 25. They're 2 wounds.
2 wounds apiece.
So that's still only 20. Actually, that is 25 in that
Yes.
unit. Huh.
Yes.
So I got Cull the Horde, which I can achieve if I take out the entire Gene Pure Strain unit. So I guess that's going to have to be one of my objectives. And then Cleanse is the other one. And so this one, let's see, this one's not going to work out very well for what I need to accomplish. I do need, at the top of the round, to determine my stuff for my army. I'm going to go with...
I do as well, yeah.
I'm going to go with sustained hits on my psychic attacks and plus 2 inches to movement so that I can, as an aura around Magnus, which will basically include everybody in this grouping around Magnus here. So Ahriman's unit, the Mutalith, the Hellbrute, and the Demon Prince will all get a plus 2 inches to their movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and pick the 5-up invuln for everybody within Synapse for my army for round 1. And then I do have to do my scout move. Do you have any scouts or anything like that?
I don't have scout moves.
We're just going to be bumping these guys up just a tiny bit.
Cleanse and cull. Huh? So I want to try and cleanse 2 objective markers. Now the caveat to doing that is that does mean I'm going to be really exposing some units if I do that. So not my favorite first turn objectives or secondaries, but that is okay. We will make it work. So we both start with 1 CP. I have 14 Cabal points on the table currently, 14 Cabal generation points. With my Terminators, I'll end up with a total of 17. And let's see, so cleanse and cull. All right, how I'm going to do the culling is going to be tough because I would have to be you're wholly behind that terrain, huh?
Yeah, we moved about 4 inches. We have like a scout 8 inches, but I didn't want to get into that building because then that makes those Gene Stealers visible. But we did want to get a little bit of advantage on our movement there for our round one. Yeah. I find that Gene Stealers are good, but they're kind of like a glass cannon. They hit really hard, but die super easy.
And if I can keep you from charging me.
Yeah.
So in theory, if I move this Mutalith in, and take one for the team with him, I might be able to pick up a sizable chunk of those Gene Stealers.
If you make a charge?
I wouldn't be able to make a charge because I'll have to move twice to do that.
Oh,
I would
see.
just have to hit you with Blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not optimal. Let's see. So I'm going to put these guys, some of these guys on the top floor, but they're all on the bottom. Yeah. And I actually want them out. Yeah, I kind of want them out. So let's move this way instead. Go, which is this way. Puts him there. He's got a little more movement on him. So these guys with the flamers, basically, if I can get a good overwatch with them, it might be beneficial.
Okay.
I think I can get... some line of sight here. Magnus potentially, maybe not though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'm gonna have. No, not gonna have any line of sight. I'll be able to shoot these guys. So that's where I'll end up having to focus that direction on.
Okay.
We'll come back and move those guys a little more here in a minute. This guy, I'm just going to get right up on the edge of that. Again, just trying to get a little bit up in there where I can maybe do some damage at some point and hold an objective. Don't think I want to do much with the Forge Fiend at the moment. I think he's just going to hang out there for a minute. And I think I just want to put my Demon Prince right in the corner here to give an aura of stealth on these 3 units. We'll put
so many decisions.
Yeah. Good decisions.
You guys have any questions about Pariah Nexus, the armies we're running, anything like that? Feel free to comment down below. We will get back to you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, I think that's where we're going to end the ye old movement phase.
Okay.
Since he's got no targets, he's going to be cleansing that objective in the center.
Okay.
And I think...
Yeah, that is the downside of running. Like, I've been looking at a couple Crusher Stampede lists. which are being played a little bit more right now. But like, yeah, if these monsters are doing actions, then they're not doing much else, which is kind of hard sometimes.
Yep.
I know your pain, John.
It hurts.
But you got to score points to win the game, so that's kind of how it works.
It is true. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and push this Mutalith with a move twice. Actually, before I do that, so at the start of my shooting phase, I have to do my Cabal rituals.
Okay.
I'm going to start with a Cabal ritual from my aspiring sorcerer here, who will get bonus distance, doubling his 18-inch range for his Cabal ritual.
Okay.
I'm turning it into 36 inches. Let's see. He's your Warlord.
Correct.
And he does the
-1 CP. He picks somebody to have a -1 strat cost.
And what's his wound? He's got 14.
I believe it's 12.
12.
Could be 14. Let me double check that.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to Doombolt him.
Okay.
Because getting rid of that really powerful command point thing is going to be important. So that's going to cost me 7 Cabal points, but I regenerate 1 from my Hellbrute, so it'll only be 6. So I go down to 8.
That'd be 10 wounds is what you got.
Okay. Cool. So that's a good thing.
And the Swarm Lord also has 10. So both of those Walking Hive Tyrants have 10.
That is a 4, which means I do D3 plus 3. So that is 4 mortals onto the Swarm Lord there.
Hive Tyrant.
The Hive Tyrant.
Yes.
I'm then going to cast so he's got 6 left, you said?
Yes.
I think what we need to do here is cast another Doombolt. Same guy from Ahriman. Use his once again and just see if I can roll better. And maybe get him close to death. All right, so that's I rolled a 3 twice. So I rolled a 3. So again, it's a D3 plus 3. That is another 4.
Okay.
So yeah. All right, so he's down to 2. That's a good start. All right, now I'm going to spend Cabal points again. This will be Ahriman cannot cast again because of his once a game thing that I did cast. That's one of the new changes to how I run my army. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cast my move twice from my Demon Prince onto my Hellbrute. He's got an extra 2 inches, which puts him at 9 inches, I believe. Double check that really quick. 9 inches of movement. 6, 7, 8. 8 inches of movement. I believe is just enough to get on there, but I could be mistaken. I am not mistaken. So he's going to run up through here, tiptoe on there, and then he will be cleansing that objective. And that will be my Demon Prince. That costs 5 Cabal points, now 4, so that leaves me with 4 Cabal points to spend. Okay. So those will come in handy in in other turns. Okay, so I think that's it on Cabal Rituals. Now to the actual shooting stuff. I think for the sake of argument, we're going to go ahead and start with Magnus here.
Okay.
We're going to hit your Hive Tyrant with my Blast attack, because it's a flat 2 damage attack.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit the Screamer Killer with my Devastating Wounds flat 3 damage. D3 plus 3 attacks. So we'll start with the Hive Tyrant, see if we can pick him up. So it's D6 plus 3 attacks. Ooh, the big
Ooh, that's a lot of attacks.
All right.
Here we go.
There's 6, 7, 8, 9. I suppose I should. I'm actually going to save my command points here because I may need to zero out some damage at some point. So we're just going to roll with these 9. Any 6s are sustained. Woo! There's 2
6s there.
I got 1, 1 also, so I'm up to 10 attacks now. This is strength 5, so toughness 10.
Yep.
So that's 6s, but now 5s because of Magnus's +1. So 1, 2, 3, get through. At -1, you do get the benefit of cover. So 2 up.
So we have 2 up saves here. We need to make all of these, so we might be spending a CP. We'll see. Oh, you got them all.
Made them all.
Nice.
All right, good deal. And then 3d3 attacks on the Screamer Killer. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, looking for 6s. And this time it's followed by 6s. So there's 3 1s, but 2 6s. So I'm now down to 5 attacks that go through.
Toughness 9 on Screamer Killer.
Attacks. Toughness 9, strength 9. So this is a 4 + 1 to 3.
Nice.
But also 6s are devastating. So no 6s, but 5 hits at -2, down to -1 with the cover.
So 3 ups here. Ooh, looks like we missed 3 of those. How much damage are these?
3 each.
3 each. Ooh. I think we will go ahead and spend a CP to reroll one of these.
Okay.
So command reroll, 1 CP. Actually, we're going to use it for free because the Hive Tyrant's sitting right there.
There you go. And is that once per phase, once per turn? Or?
I think it's once per round, but let me double check that. So that ability is called Will of the Hive Mind, once per turn.
Once per turn.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use it now because he's got low health, so we might as well use it while we can. Reroll this.
Oh no!
Another one. Okay.
All right, so that's 9 damage.
So he's down to 1 wound.
Him?
Yeah, I think they only have 10.
I thought he had 12. I don't know, though. We'll find out. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, down to 1.
Oh, man, that's awesome. All right. Well.
Yeah, John did really good. I was placing him kind of casually here because of this obstructing terrain, but he just swiped his whole army around the corner there and, yeah, getting a lot of good shots in on round 1.
Trying. We'll see if I can make it count here. I don't have any range with my rubrics, which is a bit of a bummer, but they're out there to do an Overwatch. Hopefully they can make that count. So it's down to my Mutalith. I think he's going to do his blast attack against your Hive Tyrant. Let me just double check that. If it's a -1, maybe I skip and go for the, I think it is -1. Yeah, it is. We're just going to do the single shot on the walking Hive Tyrant. Single shot, it hits. Looking for a 6 for dev wounds, but otherwise I need a 2 because it's strength 16 or 18. Okay, so not a dev, but it's -4 AP, so I think that's a 5-up invuln.
4 up.
4-up invuln.
Yep.
Cool.
Here we go.
Oh,
got a 6.
With a 6. Okay. All right. So that's basically my turn. I did not accomplish anything but my 2 cleanses, once with the Hellbrute and once with the Mutalith. So I will get 5 points for those. And then, in theory, if I Overwatch amazingly well, maybe I'll pick up the 25 plus unit. But thinking that one through, I think I'm just going to get a CP instead. So, discarding Cull the Horde for an extra CP and getting 4 points for cleanse. Okay. So that, and now at the top of your turn, you generate an extra CP.
Yes. So I'm going to go up to 3 on that.
Okay.
Is this the,
Yeah,
we'll use
right
that.
there. Perfect.
Okay. So that's going to be our Swarm Lord who gives us an extra CP at the top of the round. Thank you, Swarm Lord. Yeah. We got some command phase stuff we got to do. We got to do quite a few different ones here. First of all, we have to... Nope. This Neuro Tyrant here is out of range, but we have this one right here just as we planned, close enough to maybe do a Battle Shock. So we are going to do a Battle Shock on this Mutalith here.
Okay. And is it at -1?
This one is not. This one is just a regular old Battle Shock.
So this is a 6 that I need, and that is a 7.
And that's a 7. Okay. And then...
Yeah. You do need your secondary.
Oh, yeah. We need to see what we're doing for the game here. So let's go ahead and flip some cards here. We've got Recover Assets. 2 or more units from your army. Each of those is wholly within one different of the following areas: your deployment zone, no man's land, and your opponent's deployment zone. At the end of your opponent's next turn, at the end of battle, whichever comes first, either 2 or 3 of these units are on the battlefield. All right, so we just need to get into the zones. I don't think we're going to get all the way to his deployment zone because it's round 1. So it's going to be a 3, probably, 3 VP. Pretty easy one. We're just going to keep that and go with it. And then we're going to get Sabotage. Once again, in the shooting phase. 1 unit from your army that is within a terrain feature and not within your deployment zone until the end of your opponent's next turn to the end of the battle. If your unit is on the battlefield, it commits Sabotage. Okay. So for 3 points, we need to do that not within your opponent's deployment zone. And if we could get in the deployment zone, we could do it for 6. So once again, another little 3 VP one. And then other command phase things. We're going to go ahead with this Neuro Tyrant, and he's going to pick the 2 non-synapse people. Actually, it's just going to be the Screamer Killer. So that the Screamer Killer is always within synapse, and we're going to do the same thing for the Death Leaper there. Okay. So essentially, everybody on the battlefield has the synapse keyword now. Yeah. In the update, they did give that to the Neurolictors and the Parasite of Mortrex, which is kind of nice.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's any other command phase stuff. I don't think so. So we're going to go ahead and decide what movement we want to do. Got to get moving around.
All right. So, part of what we've been, we've been dealing with some technical stuff, but we're trying to kind of move forward with our team here. We're hoping to be able to put on a tournament in April. More to come on that if we can round out the details on that. So that's kind of exciting for us. It'll be the first one that we get to kind of host and put on. The other cool stuff. So we're going to be kind of going back and forth between narrative and tournament prep. So any questions you have, for example, hey John, why don't you play a meta army? Why do you play all these big stompy Thousand Sons instead of, the go out and win tournament armies? Well, because it's more fun. I play this game in order to enjoy the game. And I have a ton of fun with the big, heavy-duty, high-toughness killing machines in the Thousand Sons list. So I did, like I was saying at the beginning, I did add 2 units of rubrics in order to get that battle line contingent for some bonus points. But I really enjoy playing an army that is really tough to pick up. I've thought seriously about adding the Chaos Knights as one of my next armies to work with. We'll see how that turns out. I can also run some Chaos Knights in my Thousand Sons army. So, there's some options there. We'll see how see if I can pick up some models here on the Frontline Gaming used page.
Cool.
So what you got going on there, Landon?
All right, we moved our Death Leaper out so that we can get kind of close to your Mutalith here.
Okay.
The Death Leaper being close to combat, he gives some -1 leaderships, ++1 to hit, -1 to wound if you're battle shocked.
You said that they have some noodles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes.
Do you know if this is?
All right, so we're going to keep moving around here.
Yep.
We've got, I got to decide what to do with these Gene Stealers. John has threatened an Overwatch, so
I have
I got to
indeed.
decide. All right, we want to move the Zoanthropes out. One of them is not going to make it all the way around this building, so he's going to have to give up his shooting. The Neurolictor can easily touch this objective, which I think is what we're going to do. Then we've got some guys over here. We got a lot of guys over here. What do we want to do?
Yeah, we both kind of committed a sizable chunk of both our armies to the one side over there.
It's going to be a pretty heavy crash over here. So we've got some Zoanthropes. We're going to head and pop them. They have the infantry keywords, so they can run through the building. But the leader that is attached cannot. So we got to make sure we move him around. So we're going to place this one here. Guys coming around.
Yeah, so it's nice in 10th edition because Magnus is a beast. He really rocks. I started playing in 8th edition. I bought the Magnus model almost right off the bat and didn't even bother putting him together until 10th edition because although he had some cool features in 8th edition where he was able to generate, he generated Chaos Spawn when he killed models in melee.
Oh, such a cool ability.
That I would love to see that come back. Do we have a question?
Hey, welcome.
LSO this week.
No, so we're not, unfortunately. We have so the next tournament that 2 of us are going to is a regional
Local RTT.
RTT, yeah, over in Boise, Idaho. And that is going to be not this weekend, but the following weekend. It is, a 54 player tournament, so it's not a small one, but it's also not a big one. The weekend after that is the Salt Lake Open, and I was hoping to be able to get to that one this year, but I just can't quite make it happen this year. So I will put that one on my list for next year. Yeah, I'm, a big part of what we do. I'm really trying to get a bunch of tournaments under my belt so that I can perform really well in LVO this coming spring. And so I've been, by a bunch, I mean, I've basically been putting in one decent-sized competitive tournament every month this year. And that will, at this point, at least continue through August. But sadly, LSO is not on my list this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and for myself, summertime is pretty hard for me with my work and things that I do to go to a lot of tournaments. So I try to save. Well, in the winter time is kind of the time for me when I can get out and do a lot. So that's why we plan for LVO. I think every member is going to be going to LVO again this year. Yeah, so we're excited about that. I would like to try to do maybe the Colorado tournament that Frontline Gaming puts on as well. That's a good timeline for me as well. But yeah, anytime we can squeeze in there and get some of these tournaments, we try to. So yeah,
we do a lot of this tournament prep because that's kind of, we're all kind of competitive players, meaning every game we play, we try to be competitive.
We like to stick with all the rules updates, stay in current with what's going on and keep our armies updated as much as we can. So that's, I think that's one of the aspects we really enjoy.
There's a lot of rules in Warhammer, and that's, for me at least, that's one of the things that appeals. I actually really enjoy learning and continuing to just like grow and develop as a player. Yeah.
Cool. We also are going to be doing a few kill teams. We're getting back into kill team, doing some missions for that for you guys.
Some boarding action. Yes. Some narrative stuff.
Try to get some variety as well. But for the most part, yeah, we try to do these competitive games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of our members, Pat, he played Landon last week with his AdMech, because AdMech's pretty good right now. He's got the White Dwarfs, and so we're going to play through all of the special custom battle missions,
the bunker missions,
that the White Dwarf is doing. So super, super excited about that. I think that's going to be a really, really fun set of missions to play, and hopefully it'll be some really, really good live streams for you guys.
The app makes it easier for me. Other editions, I get lost with multiple rules.
Absolutely. Yeah, the update that they did on the app to actually make it usable, because in 9th edition it was barely functional, and the only real way to play the game was to use a third-party app. And now the actual app is excellent. It does everything you need to do. It has all the rules. You've got your search features. I totally agree. Yeah, that's a huge win for Warhammer players.
Cool.
Let me take a measurement here.
All right, I think John's probably going to Overwatch here.
See what we've got. Oh, you did it. You done did it.
Oh, really?
You put all of my flamers in range.
Nice.
So, your toughness 4, correct?
Correct.
All right, I have one flamer pistol that is toughness 3. So I'm going to roll that one on this blue dice. And I'm going to roll my other 4 flamers on these white dice. And then we'll roll our psychic separately. So this is how many attacks I get. So 3. So we'll roll those, or straight 3. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, strength 4 flamers. Excuse me. Holy cow. 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So Ahriman gives me a +1 to my wound roll, and you're not touching the objective.
I tried.
So I only get to reroll ones. If you had touched the wound roll or the objective, I'd get to reroll the entire wound roll.
Gotcha. So
here's flamers. So my strength 3 are going to be wounding on 4s. Got no 4s in there on the strength 3. The strength 4 flamers are going to be hitting on 3s instead of 4s because of the +1.
Okay.
So take the 2s out, re-roll the 1 into a 1. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at -1,
Okay.
and 1 at -2.
So both of these, even with the benefit of cover, it's going to end up on our 5-up invulns.
And you don't get the benefit because it's a flamer. Torrent ignores cover.
So just
5-ups all the way
either way.
across. Even this one?
Oh.
-2?
Yep.
All right, cool.
So we got 1, 2, 3 here. How much damage are these guys?
1 each.
1 each. So that's going to be 1 model, 2 models, and a wound.
Okay. And now for the psychic attacks. Ahriman's got a single shot with precision. It does hit on a 2. I get +1 to both my hit and my wound roll.
You're overwatching though, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So
I got a hit
actually,
on 6.
that does not work.
Yeah.
Yep. And
The
then,
flamers auto hit because it's overwatching and they auto hit.
Yep.
Everything else has got to hit on 6s.
And then it says 3 shots for my warp flame. Nope, warp smite is 2 shots. Get some 6s in there. No. Okay. All right. So that is my Overwatch. Picked up 2 models. That's something.
Yeah. All right. Continuing on, we're going to go into the shooting phase now. Yeah. Let's go ahead and start our activation with the Zoanthropes. Yeah, Zoanthropes are going to go ahead and target into Magnus here with all other shots.
I will spend 1 CP to make all of those shots hazardous and give me a 4-up, feel no pain.
Cool. This is a good one. John's used this a lot for the psychic attacks. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to focus fire all of these. So we've got 6 shots here.